Welcome to Shankar IAS Academy's daily newspaper analysis 4th January 2025. Before getting to the list of articles, in the end of this month, we can expect notification for UPSC Prelims 2025. So, kickstart your preparation towards Prelims examination with the help of Shankar IAS Academy in terms of test series like pre-storming Prelims test series. You can also access day-to-day newspaper analysis and news articles in the prelims format as a prelims bits in our IAS Parliament website, which is exclusively for current affairs. So make use of it. Without any delay, let's move on to today's list of articles. The first article, which is taken from the Indian Express, which talks about localization of personal data. In this article, we are going to see about data protection in India and also draft data protection rules 2025 in detail. The second article, which is taken from the Live Mint, which talks about cold wave in North India. In this article, we are going to see about cold wave in terms of IMD and impacts of cold waves and the precautionary measures towards cold waves in northern India and also the government initiative to tackle this. The third article, which is taken from the Hindu newspaper, which talks about HMPV virus, that is human metapneumovirus, which is a virus spreading over China, which create fear among Indians towards this viral disease. It is a kind of respiratory disease. In this article, we are going to see about HMPV virus and its type, causes, symptoms, and also the impacts towards the nation and globally from prelims point of view. The fourth article, which is taken from the Indian Express, which talks about Transgender Person Rights and Protection Act 2019. In this article, we are going to see in detail about this act and recent judgment towards transgender person to change their name and rights ensured under the Trans Persons Act 2019 from prelims point of view. Without any delay, let's start the discussion. Look at this article. This article talks about HMPV virus spread over China, that is human metapneumovirus, which comes under the respiratory virus causing illness like bronchitis and pneumonia, has seen a surge in China, particularly vulnerable to children and old age peoples. In India, Health Minister is monitoring the situation through no unusual cases are reported as of now. In this article, we are going to see about HMPV virus and its symptoms and causes and control measures towards it. For that, first we have to know what is human metapneumovirus. This HMPV virus was discovered in 2001. It belongs to Pneumoviridae family of viruses and sharing similarities with respiratory syncytial viruses, and also it causes upper and lower respiratory tract infections primarily in vulnerable populations like younger children, elderly individuals and immunocompromised peoples around the world. With this information, let's see some of the symptoms caused by this virus. The first common symptoms are cough, fever, nasal congestion, shortness of breath. These are common symptoms of this HMPV viruses which are spread over the globe. When it comes to severe symptoms, this virus can cause the severe infections towards respiratory system of the human that will create bronchitis and pneumonia among the people who are affected by the HMPV viruses. When it comes to transmission and circulation, these viruses are spread through respiratory secretions like coughing and sneezing. The second one is the close contact. Close contact with infected surfaces or individuals enhances the transmission risk towards this disease. For this, World Health Organization gives incubation period for typically 3 to 6 days for the recovery from this respiratory infection caused by HMPV viruses. This was, when it comes to seasonality, it circulates and transmits over the country in the particular season like winter and spring. During the colder situation, this HMPV virus will transmit like seasonal influenzas. For this, we can do diagnosis with detection through molecular diagnostic test, that is PCR, which will help to detect the HMPV virus among the individuals through this PCR test. After that, we have to see some of the treatments available for this virus spread. When it comes to treatment, as of now, there is no specific antiviral drugs available in the world. We can only do supportive cares, that is oxygen therapy, hydration, symptom management is the mainstay for this HMPV virus surge among the individuals who are vulnerable communities comes under children's and old age peoples. When it comes to the context of India and the global level, the current situation is China is reporting a surge in cases, especially among children under 14. Afterwards, India has not observed any unusual spike in respiratory illness. When it comes to global spread, this HMPV virus causes have been reported in USA, Canada and Europe. This creates fear among Indians towards the spread of HMPV virus in India also. Let's see the preparedness of India towards this respiratory disease over HMPV viruses. National Center for Disease Control is actively monitoring respiratory illness and including seasonal influenza, and also hospitals in India are equipped for treatment and no cases of HMPV have been reported so far. This HMPV virus was compared with COVID-19. Unlike SARS-CoV-2, HMPV is not highly contagious and associated with pandemic situation. No vaccines or antivirals are not available for HMPV viruses as of now. We have to do some of the supportive care towards the diseased people among HMPV viruses. So be careful among these seasonal influenzas. Prevent yourself with preventive measures against this kind of viruses. With this information, try to solve the prelims practice questions. Which of the following measures are used to diagnose HMPV viruses? The first one is X-rays, option B PCR testing, option C rapid antigen test, option D blood culture. The correct answer is option B, that is PCR testing. This HMPV virus was diagnosed over PCR testing all over the country as of now. With this, let's move on to next article. Look at this article. This article talks about Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act 2019. It is 5 years after the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act 2019 came into force. The Karnataka High Court recently allowed a trans woman to change her name and gender on her birth certificate. In this case highlights gaps in the law's implementation and raises questions about the rights and dignity of transgender person. And also this case highlights the diagnosed with gender dysphoria sought to align her documents with her gender identity. Despite explicit provision in the Transgender Person Act 2019, her request to change her name and gender on her birth certificate was rejected. The Register of Births and Deaths cited the Registration of Births and Death Act 1969, which limits changes to birth records in the case of error or frauds towards the certificate. When it comes to legal issues, there is a difference in special versus general laws. That must be the equality between special and general laws. For that, special laws should be reflected in general law. Let's see in detail. When it comes to court ruling, court ruled that the Transgender Person Act 2019 takes presented over the Birth and Death Act 1969 as it is a special enhancement designed specifically to address the right of transgender person. This clarified that laws tailored for specific groups must override general laws when conflict arises. When it comes to recognition of rights, the court acknowledged that forcing individuals to maintain dual identities, one on birth certificates and another in legal documents, violates their fundamental rights under Article 21, that is right to life and dignity towards the citizens in India. The second one is emphasis. The Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act 2019 is an act of the Parliament of India that aims to protect the rights of transgender peoples with the key provisions of definition, prohibition of discrimination, recognition and identity towards transgender person. Let's see in detail about the key provisions of Transgender Persons Act 2019. When it comes to definition, transgender person who includes individuals with gender identities differing from birth as assigned gender, including trans men, trans women, intersex person, and socio-cultural identities like hijras. When it comes to prohibition against discrimination of transgender person, this act protects transgender person from discrimination in education, employment, healthcare, public services, property right and public life in India. When it comes to recognition of identity, right to self-perceived gender identity, process for obtaining a certificate of identity and updating official documents post-gender surgery. When it comes to welfare measures by the government, policies for rescue, rehabilitation and transgender sensitivity welfare schemes supported for cultural and recreational participation of transgenders towards the society. When it comes to obligations of establishment, there is no discrimination in employment just because of their gender is transgender, and also it mandates grievances redressal mechanism towards discrimination against transgenders. When it comes to educational, social and health security of transgender, it is the inclusion of education policies and vocational trainings towards transgender person, whatever they like to do in terms of their skill development and towards their career. Access to health care, including sex reassignment surgeries, hormonal therapy and insurance towards their health. Afterwards, we have to know about National Council for Transgender Persons. This organization was advised on policies, monitors implementation of schemes and addressing grievances over transgender person. Offences towards transgender person and its penalties. Penalizes abuse, forced labor, denial of rights and harm against transgender person with imprisonment of 6 months to 2 years with the severe penalties. After that, grant for implementation, rule making and protection for action taken in good faith of transgender person is also ensured under this Transgender Persons Act 2019. Now let's see how to apply for this certificate of identity towards transgender persons. When it comes to application process, under Transgender Persons Act 2019, first we have to obtain the certificate of identity. For that, the applicant must file an affidavit with the district magistrate along with medical or physiological evidence of their gender identity. After that, district magistrate must issue certificate within 30 days, that is 1 month. If surgery is required, the applicant must obtain a medical certificate and reapply for the revised certificate of identity. Once the certificate is issued, official documents like Aadhaar, driving license and passport can be updated within 15 days. This is how in India transgender persons' right and protection was enacted with the Act 2019. This was the milestone initiative towards the safety and security and the improvement of transgender persons in India. With this information, try to write a prelims practice question. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. According to Transgender Person Protection and Rights Act 2019, a trans person can apply for the certificate of identity only after surgery. Statement 2. The applicant must file an affidavit with the district magistrate along with medical or physiological evidence of their gender identity, and the district magistrate must issue the certificate within 60 days. Which of the following statement is or are incorrect? Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, option D neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is both 1 and 2. Both the statements are incorrect because the first statement they can apply for certificate of identity without any surgery. In the second statement, district magistrate must issue the certificate within 13 days, not 60 days. With this, you all understand about the Transgender Persons Act 2019 clearly. Let's move on to next article. Look at this article. This article talks about Draft Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 2025 proposes data localization for significant data fiduciaries, restrictions in transfer of specific personal data outside India. This rules mandate safeguards for citizens towards data, penalties for breaches, and verifiable parental consent for processing children's data, while exempting certain sectors. These rules make a significant shift in India's data governance framework, impacting big technology and operationalism in the Data Protection Act 2023. First, let's see what is data localization. When it comes to data localization, it refers to a practice of storing and processing data within the geographical boundary of the country where it was collected. Now let's see why data localization is significant in the sense towards sovereignty. It ensures national control over citizens' personal data towards their data security. When it comes to security, it protects sensitive information from foreign surveillances. Economic growth. In terms of economic growth, it promotes local data center and infrastructure development towards the country. Now let's see the overview of Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. When it comes to applicability, it applies to the process of digital personal data within India where such data is collected online and subsequently digitalized. It also applies to processing outside India if it involves offering goods or services to individuals in India. In this, it excludes non-automated processing and personal or domestic purposes. And let's see some of the key definitions under this Digital Protection Act 2023. When it comes to personal data, as per this act, information about an individual who is identifiable by or in the relation to such data. When it comes to data principle, the individual to whom the personal data relates. Data fiduciary, the entity that determines the purpose and means of processing personal data. When it comes to exemption, government agencies for purpose such as national security, public order, sovereignty and integrity of India, they can use the data without the permission of the particular person. For the violation of this rule, there are some penalties. They are monetary penalties for non-compliances with amounts specified in the Act. Now let's see about Data Protection Board. It was established to adjudicate non-compliances and impose penalties among them. When it comes to cross-border data transfer, personal data can be transferred to countries notified by the central government under this Act 2023. This Act also has special provision for children's, that is, data processing relevant to children's data requires verifiable parental consent. When it comes to grievance redressal mechanism, data fiduciaries must establish mechanism to address grievances of data principles towards this Act. Now let's see Draft Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 2025 in detail. First, when it comes to the purpose, this rules was enacted to provide detailed guidelines for implementing the Digital Personal Data Act 2023. Under this, data localization was undertaken by central government to specify categories of personal data that must be processed within India only. For children data, parental consent verification was enacted to data fiduciaries to establish mechanism for obtaining verifiable parental consent before processing children's data. When it comes to data breach notification, data fiduciaries must notify affected individual promptly, detailing nature and extent of the breach, potential consequences and measures taken to mitigate the risk towards the personal data. Next, we have to see the security measures towards this rules 2020-25. This was implemented for reasonable security practices including encryption, access control and regular security audits. Significant data fiduciaries. Criteria for classification including volume and sensitivity of personal data should be processed. It also curbs the potential impact on national interest. The next one is Data principle right implementation. Procedures for data principals to exercise their rights, including submitting requests and timelines for data fiduciaries to respond towards the complaints. The next one is grievance redressal mechanism under this rules 2025 is established clearly to produce and address grievances, including designation grievance officers, timely resolution of complaints. Afterwards, we have to know also about data retention and deletion. For that, guidelines on data retention period and mandatory deletion after the purpose is fulfilled. When it comes to public consultation, draft rules open for public feedback to ensure comprehensive stakeholder engagement towards the society and citizens towards India. Now with all this data protection rules 2025 mandates the India's security towards data among individuals and children. With this all, try to solve the prelims practice question. Which of the following is a feature of Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023? Statement 1. Recognition of the rights to the privacy as a fundamental right. Statement 2. Requirement of verifiable parental consent for processing children's data. Exemption for government agencies on ground of national interest. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1 and 3 only, option C 2 and 3 only, option D 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option D 1, 2 and 3. All the statements are correct. With this, let's move on to next article. Look at this article. This article highlights that Delhi and North India are grappling with an intense cold wave, with Delhi recording a maximum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, which is 4 degrees below normal. For that, Delhi government take shelter initiatives for including 235 pagoda tents have been set up for the homeless. Meanwhile, frigid condition persist across the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, which affects the daily life of the citizens. In this article, we are going to see about cold wave in detail according to Indian Meteorological Department from prelims point of view. First, let's see the definition of cold wave according to IMD of India. As per the Indian Meteorological Department, minimum temperature of less than 4 degrees Celsius in the plains, or when temperatures are 4.5 degrees Celsius to 6.4 degrees Celsius, which is considered as the below normal situation. In hilly areas, a cold wave is declared if the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. Now let's see the definition of severe cold wave according to IMD. Minimum temperature of below 2 degrees Celsius in plains or above 6.5 degrees Celsius, which is considered as below normal. In this situation, persistent fog and wild chill exacerbate cold wave condition in and around the area who is experiencing severe cold wave. Now let's see how these cold waves are formed. Formation of cold wave, firstly because of high pressure system, that is cold waves often from under the influence of high pressure system that trap cold air near the surface. The second one is clear skies and radiational cooling. Lack of cloud cover allows heat to escape from the earth's surface during the night, leading to significant drop in temperature. The third one is cold air advection. In the moment of cold air masses from higher latitudes, example Siberian winds to lower latitudes, result in sharp temperature drop which cause cold wave to severe cold wave conditions in the surface. The fourth one is snow cover. Because of extensive snow cover reflects sunlight, preventing ground warming and reinforce cold condition in that particular surface of area. Now let's see some of the geographical features which creates cold wave and severe cold wave in the particular surface of the area. Plains and valleys trap cold air due to poor ventilation, increasing the intensity of cold waves. And also, it was contributed by mountain block warm winds, allowing cold air to dominate. The next one is weak western disturbances. Inadequate or weak western disturbances reduce cloud cover and precipitation, which intensively create cold condition in northern India. Wild chill effect. Strong dry winds reduces the perceived temperature, amplifying the cold waves impact. Seasonal variation. Cold waves are more frequent during winter due to low sun angles and reduced solar heating. The next one is polar vortex disturbances. That is, weakening of the polar vortex can allow cold Arctic air to spill southwards, which cause cold wave condition in subtropical region. The last one is global climatic pattern. Phenomena like La Nina can alter atmospheric circulation, increasing the frequency and intensity of cold waves in the particular surface. Each of these factors, either individually or in combination, contributes to the development of cold waves to severe cold waves in the surface of the earth. Now let's see vulnerable areas in India. The first one is northern plains, which includes Punjab, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. They are experiencing cold waves due to clear sky, high pressure system and dry winds. The second one is hilly region, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. They are severely affected by the cold and snow intensify the cold wave impact. The third one is central India, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, occasionally affected by northerly cold winds. When it comes to eastern states, Odisha, West Bengal, Jharkhand, they are experiencing shorter cold spells but are significantly impacted by the cold waves to severe cold waves. When it comes to western states, Gujarat, Maharashtra are highly experiencing mild cold waves, particularly in northern parts of this area. Now let's see some of the impacts of cold waves in India. When it comes to impacts, the first one is health impact. It increases the cause of hypothermia, frostbite and respiratory illness, which aggravate of pre-existing condition like asthma, heart disease and joint pains. These are vulnerable to some set of groups including elderly, infants and the homeless population of India. The second one is agriculture. This frost and cold wave condition damages the crops like wheat, mustard and vegetables, which prolonged cold spells reduces productivity and delay in harvesting, which directly impact the food safety of India. The third one is infrastructure and transportation. Dense fog disturbs rail, air and road traffic, which causing accidents and delay in transportation. Increased energy demand strains power grids and rise fuel consumption due to the cold waves. When it comes to the impacts of economy and livelihood, daily wage laborers and outdoor workers face loss of income due to the cold wave condition, and also it increases the healthcare system comes under strain due to increased cold related illness, which are such as respiratory diseases and also the virus spread among the winter season. When it comes to the environmental impact, wildlife suffers due to freezing water bodies and a lack of food. Urban areas see a spike in population level due to stagnant air. For this, we have to take some of the precautions and mitigation measures. For individuals, clothing pattern and heating method will prevent them from the cold waves. Wearing multiple layers of warm clothes, including gloves, socks and scarves, will save them from cold waves. Use heaters cautiously and avoid open fire indoors to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. When it comes to diet consumption, warm fluids, soups and food rich in vitamins to boost immunity towards the contagious diseases, and also can avoid limited outdoor activities, especially during early morning and late evenings. The second one is for farmers. Use sprinklers and mulching technique to protect crops from frost. And also farmers are advised to consult agricultural advisories for timely sowing and harvesting during this cold wave condition. For government, they have to set up adequate night shelters with healing facilities and distribute blankets for homeless, which will ensure the public awareness campaign about the dangers of cold wave. And also government has to ready to activate emergency response system for healthcare and transportation services towards the public. For drivers and commuters, use fog lights and drive slowly in areas with reduced visibility. They should check weather updates before traveling to avoid the consequences. For the longer run, there should be a climate resilient infrastructure and improve urban planning to reduce cold wave impacts. And also government should equip rural health centers to handle cold related health emergencies during such cold wave situations. Let's see some of the recent initiatives of government to tackle cold wave situations. In Delhi Urban Shelter Improvement Board has set up to 235 night shelters and distributed blankets for homeless. When it comes to Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, governments are coordinating with local bodies to provide heating facilities in public shelters. In hilly areas, there are advanced warning are issued for snowfall and efforts are made to clear snow from roads for accessibility and transportation. From this article, we are going to conclude this with the eye-opening climate change affecting the day-to-day activity of global population in the kind of heat waves, cold waves and drought and flood, etc. For this, we have to protect the environment for the sustainable future. With this all, let's try to solve the prelims practice question. Consider the following impacts of cold waves. Statement 1, increase the energy demand. Statement 2, disruption in transportation due to fog. Statement 3, increased agricultural productivity due to longer winter. Statement 4, rise in respiratory illnesses. Which of the above are likely impacts of cold waves? Statement option A, 1, 2 and 4 only. Option B, 1 and 3 only. Option 3, 2 and 4 only. Option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is 1, 2 and 4 only. Because in the cold wave situation, agriculture productivity will decline, not increased. According to this, this third statement is wrong. Coming to the conclusion, if you like this video, hit like, do comment your valuable feedbacks and share it to your friends and family. At the end, don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day.